Hello Scrolls fans, welcome to Scrollscast. My name is Smogan and we're going to hop right to this ranked game between two highly rated players. First on the left we have Vetscroll playing what appears to be a growth aggro deck, likely the enchantment build that is so popular right now, and his opponent kkingbob playing an energy deck, and I'm not sure what kind of energy deck, we'll have to see here in a moment. Vetscroll is using the Wildling Oakblood combo. In his opening hand after the mulligan, he pitches a Crimson Bowl. No early plays for him, so he's just going to have to wait and see before he can do much. kkingbob looks like a little bit different energy build than we're used to seeing. Tool Initiate, Siege Cracker, even Metal Wonder, though that's played sometimes. None of those scrolls are played in every energy deck, so I'm excited to see what K-King has in store. Vetscroll pulls a 2-drop in the perfect slot off the top of his deck, so he plays it right there in the middle, the Kinfolk Ranger. Iron Whip for K-King. He has a Tool Initiate or the Hired Smuggler in the 2 slot to play out. Smuggler is the better scroll, so he will play that instead, though the Tool Initiate could survive an attack from the Kinfolk Ranger, so I bet we see that in front. But for now, Wildling comes down, and the Ranger moves down as well to threaten whatever K-King can play down here. He could Iron Whip his Hired Smuggler to take out the Kinfolk Ranger. He could just State Machine and stay safe for now, and that's what he decides to do, a little bit safer play. So now all of Vetscroll's units are going to take 1 damage when they come into play. Oakblood is the play for Vetscroll, plays that on his Wildling. Note that due to the change in Violent Dispersal, there's really nothing that K-King can do to take this out in one shot. Violent Dispersal only deals 8 damage now and only 7 to a unit with magic armor, so that's going to be tough to kill. Sacrifices for scrolls, so he does not go up to 4 resources. Gravelock Raider in the middle, and then an Iron Whip on the Kinfolk Ranger so that his Hired Smuggler takes it down. Definitely a different build from K-King. This is exciting. Kinfolk Veteran comes down. That takes out the State Machine and then 1 damage to the Hired Smuggler, but that is Vetscroll's entire hand. K-King still has 4 scrolls in hand, quite a bit of ammo left. Can go up to 4 resources pretty safely here, should he choose to do so. And if he does so, then we have Echomaton, Metal Wonder, a lot of choices. But no, he decides to sacrifice for scrolls and make the State Machine play, and he moves his units behind it into safety so he can threaten the Kinfolk Veteran. Earthborn Mystic and Ancestral Totem for Vetscroll. The Mystic is the centerpiece of this deck, so I would not be surprised to see that come down. The 1 damage from the Totem is not real relevant right now. And you'd get that 1 damage anyway off the Earthborn Mystic because the Wildling is, of course, enchanted, and then even more damage when a creature comes into play. But he's got to think carefully about where to place these units because of these guys that are crashing in. He's got to be careful of a Machinated because that is, of course, phenomenal on this relentless Gravelock Raider. And speak of the devil, Machinated perfect off the top of the deck for kkingbob. So that is going to be 6 relentless damage plus the 2 from the Hired Smuggler. That's enough to take out not everything because of how much health Wildling has, but most everything that Vetscroll currently has. There's the Machinated, and the Hired Smuggler moved down to draw a Structure Scroll, putting it in a risky position where it is prone to death, but judges that to be worthwhile to get that scroll draw. Vetscroll pitches the Ancestral Totem. We see Rat King, nice defensive scroll, Brother of the Wolf, and Kinfolk Brave as options. Could see Rat King come down to buff the Wildling, but does not need to do that right now. Instead, just lets the Wildling take out the State Machine and gets the Brother of the Wolf in the middle of the field. Thunder Surge for later for K-King, though he could sacrifice it now because it doesn't look like it's useful against Vetscroll's current board. It'll get much better once that Rat King is played, but K-King doesn't know that's there yet. Gets rid of his Metal Wonder. That is a good decision because these growth builds do not have a lot of spells to play. Ironclad Reaver is just a nice, strong, buff creature that can sit out there and tank some damage for these little guys. K-King's goal right now is probably to try to get this Relentless Raider up to survive long enough to get another attack off. Could do so by moving it behind the Reaver if he moves both to the middle, but that is risking losing the Reaver to this Wildling that can get easily up to 5 or even 6 attack depending on what Vetscroll decides to do. K-King knows that and now has to decide, do I risk the Raider's life? Do I just let it die? What's more valuable, the Raider with 2 countdown or the Smuggler with 1? Tries to hide the Raider as best that he can, knows that it's still at risk to any haste units, but currently Vetscroll does not have those hasty units. We'll see what he draws here. Oh, and there's the Kinfolk Veteran, so that's the haste he needed to take out both units should he choose to do so. That would be his whole turn, though. His alternative is to drop either 2 Braves or a Brave and a Wildling, but this veteran play is too good to pass up. It also buffs the Wildling, of course, and takes out all of these creatures down on the bottom, solidifying this side of the board for Vetscroll. K-King still has a stronghold on the top behind these 2 units, another Machinated and a Ghetto Machinated, the Desperation, in his hand. Really not a lot of strong plays. The Ekmeton is decent. Not great for this situation, but decent. At least he'll be drawing a scroll, the State Machine, off of the Hired Smuggler. Let's see. Wildling, Oakblood, Kinfolk Braves in hand for Vetscroll. Note that a wolf can be spawned off this Brother the Wolf to pump this Wildling even more. Saves the Oakblood. Did sacrifice the second Wildling. Not concerned about having 2 powerful Wildlings in play, content with just the 1. The Wolf comes into play, now a 5 power Wildling. Brave comes down as well, and an Oakblood on that Brave. So even though these units are clumped, most of them can survive any Thunder Surge that would come down. And here's a Violent Dispersal, now dealing only 8 damage to a target unit rather than killing them outright. Definitely a relevant nerf, especially in this situation with Wildling Oakblood being a popular combination. Up to 6 resources, and here's that Thunder Surge, so does deal some damage to everything, only takes out the 1 wolf. Magic Armor protecting both of the Oak-Blooded units. Rumble in play. Could use that and see if he gets lucky and brings some of these units down. He could theoretically get quite a few of these killed, though with the Reaver's pillage effect, at least it will not die. Only the Hired Smuggler comes down, though, so not a wonderful Rumble, not horrible, but definitely not the best he could have hoped for. Could play Champion Ring on this Kinfolk Brave. Instead chooses to just save for now and pass the turn over to his opponent. Another Ekmeton for K-King. Needs some more beefy units, some more something that'll help him gain a foothold on the board. With this idol dropping and this idol soon to follow, it's getting closer and closer to the time when K-King needs to really focus on defending this middle idol. If it goes down, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to get his units down here and control this bottom lane before it is too late and Vetscroll is able to finish it off. So definitely to the point that K-King needs to think carefully about sacrificing units to defend these idols. Violent Dispersal is enough to take out the Kinfolk Brave that had 7 health and does move the Ekmeton to the middle. No rallying effect for Vetscroll to get this Kinfolk Veteran attacking, but this Wildling still dominating the board. Several enchantments and enchantment buffers in hand as well. We do see the Wolf coming out additionally. Moves up to deal 1 damage to the Reaver. 7 attack on this Wildling now. Will Vetscroll play something in front? Maybe the Earthborn Mystic to protect it? This Ironclad Reaver would deal 4 damage to it. That's definitely relevant. Has to play the Mystic in front. Champion Ring on this rat. Not quite enough to kill this Ironclad Reaver. Pretty close, but not quite enough. And now K-King can take out this Earthborn Mystic, which is a nice bonus, but really needs way more creatures on the board, way more removal that can deal with this large Wildling. What can he do here? I don't think there's any machinated play that can happen. If he could take out this Earthborn Mystic and have the resources to get machinated down, that would take out the Wildling, but I don't think he can. It would take an Iron Whip Burn and machinated, which is 8 resources he does not have. He could, if he had machinated Mindset to get Relentless, he might be able to pull it off, but for now, just content to Iron Whip to take out the Brother the Wolf and let the Reaver take out the Earthborn Mystic in front. Here's that rallying effect. Not an awesome play right now. Another Oakblood in hand. Wetland Ranger to be another large 1 countdown creature. Could play Oakblood, Stagheart, and Crimson Bull or Crimson Ring on that and really build it up over the next 2 turns. And here's that Ranger in front with Champion Ring on it. Outcast taken out, Veteran doing work down below. Kkingbob needs to find an answer here. What can be done? Could Desperation burn to take out this Wetland Ranger, but still doesn't deal with the Wildling? What can he do? Iron Ogre, just an interesting deck for K-King, filled with just efficient creatures, good removal, some nice buffs. Doesn't take advantage of the ranged mechanic in Energy, so we haven't seen any Bombard, and I doubt we will, which is probably one of Energy's best scrolls. Has Fury as a substitute, but not quite as good as Bombard. Here comes a Rumble. Decent split, I suppose. He can take out both of these units. Can't ask for much more than that. Pitches his Oakblood and plays a Stagheart on his Ragged Wolf up to the top here. Wipes out K-King's board, and these idols are all being threatened. 3 of these 4 of the 4 remaining idols are threatened and about to die. K-King's really going to have to pull something out of his butt here in order to survive. I just don't see what he can do, especially with no creatures in hand other than this too expensive Iron Ogre. He needs to defend. He can let this bottom idol go, but he needs to defend at least these 2 from this wildling. He needs at least 2 plays. There's the Iron Ogre. So that does defend the bottom, so I suppose that does extend his life by a turn, because this Iron Ogre is not going to go anywhere. No rallying effect to get the finishing punch. I don't think he could do it anyway. No, I don't see any way to finish the game with the Crimson Bull. Brother the Wolf continues to extend that board presence. Ranger dealing a bunch of damage to the middle idol, and this wildling at 10 attack can take out any idol at any time. What the heck is kkingbob going to do? Needs an attacking unit that he can get these Machinateds and Desperations on, but instead just draws another Iron Ogre and another Desperation, unable to get anything out there that is able to stop this wildling. Needs to play a creature on both these top 2, sees that there's nothing he can do, passes a turn, says good game, and accepts defeat. Well done, Vetscroll. Well done to this super powerful wildling. This combo has been nerfed on the test server and will be going away soon, but for now, still dominating these matchups. This has been Smogan with Scrollscast. Thank you for tuning in. You can catch more Scrollscast on the Badger Guild YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.